Hi, I'm Steve Smith from Asset Mapping here at MIPIM UK. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our platform, which is the Asset Mapping Platform, or AMP. Asset Mapping Platform is really designed around literally being able to map your assets, but it's designed to do three specific things within that. It's an Internet of Things platform, so we use sensory data, information from building management systems and other sources in order to help with your maintenance. Those three things that we do really are about the visual asset register, people and productivity, and occupancy analysis. Now, within the visual asset register, really that's about what your assets are, where they are, what condition they're in, and then we have something called the protocol gateway that allows us to harvest all the data from your building management system, so we can tell you exactly what's going on with it. We can drill down into an individual item or view it all on a higher level dashboard to know what's happening in there before engineers ever go to site. For payback, we can raise your first time fix rates, and we can make the engineers more efficient when they're on site. Moving swiftly on to the next piece, starts talking about connect, respond and transform, which is what we talk about when we start talking about wellness sensors. So we can deploy wellness sensors in your building that will tell us about temperature, humidity, CO2, VOCs, particulate matter. Using that data, we can optimize your environment to make your staff healthier and more productive. 90% of our costs are staff, so when we optimize those people to produce more for the business, it's a really huge ROI for us. We do that by giving you these dashboards which allow you to see what's happening inside the building from the very, very top all the way down to one meeting room, raising productivity, lowering your attrition rates because you can market your spaces as more healthy, and then hoping people to operate at peak performance by improving their cognitive function. 1,000 parts per million CO2 is like having 2 pints of lager. It's going to lower your ability to think by about 11%. Smart productive spaces is where we talk about occupancy. In there we can place some sensors that anonymise the data, so there's no GDPR issues. It tells us where people are, what they're doing, what parts of the building they're using, how many of them there are. So from that we can do building occupancy control. We can tell you against things like means of escape, toilets, fresh air, whether you're within those thresholds, whether you can allocate more staff to those spaces to make better use of the areas that you've rented or own. On top of which, we can help you with workplace strategy. We can analyse how meeting rooms are used, where people sit at their desks, and then help you to optimise those spaces to make more of it. And of course it's data driven. So estate rationalisation, you can cut the amount of square metres that you take. £1,000 roughly per square metre in London these days, including hard and soft FM. That's going to save you huge amounts of money. You can improve your agile working strategies. And finally, we can use interaction with your building management system to drive down the costs of ventilation by using a demand control ventilation system. How do we make all of that work? Well, it comes back to that protocol gateway I mentioned at the beginning of this short presentation, which allows us to bring data together from the building management system, but also then loop back all that data from the sensors that we've employed to give it more information to work on and create new logic to drive the system. Essentially transforming you from that, the messy traditional FM space full of paperwork and spreadsheets and siloed data, to a single pane of glass that's going to tell you everything about your building and what's happening within it. Thank you.